And we are live. We are live. Say something, Shooey, just to make sure I can hear you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How is it going?
Right. I am Mac In VR. That is Shooey from PowerOnVR. And this is the Virtually Rek't podcast. So first things first, I am drinking a beautiful Portuguese green wine, and it is absolutely lovely. It's very, very pale, and it also has a slight fizz, and it's absolutely beautiful. Very, very dry. Just my kind of thing. So, Mr. Shooey, what are you drinking?
I have delved into my cupboard of oddities, and I have pulled out the two highest alcoholic volume beers that I currently have in there. One is a Mallow Laser Quest by Brewdog.
Oh my God.
That is marshmallow and pineapple hazy IPA. And then following up from that, we have something I've never tried before, which is a Northern Monk.
Okay.
So we'll see how we go. That one's a 6.5%.
Oh, this could go sideways quite quickly.
It's going to be fine.
It is.
I haven't got work tomorrow. It's all gravy.
I'm retired, so fuck it. Right, we have Clueless Dad Gamer, we have Weeble, we have Cactus.
Welcome, Cactus.
Welcome, Cactus. We're going to talk to you later. We have Fitz. We have Paradise Decays here. How you doing, PD? We've got Crash, and we've got Anthorage. So, right, it's all kicking off already.
That's what I like to see.
It is. Right, breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. And literally, this has just come up on Upload VR. The developers, or the manufacturers of Pico Neo, or the owners, they are going to make a big announcement on Wednesday. So, what do you think that is going to be, Mr. Shooey?
It's going to be a consumer-ready headset. It's got to be. Like, I mean, obviously we didn't discuss it on here, but I discussed it in a video last year.
Yeah.
When we had a bit of news about the Pico Neo and the fact that it was only going to come out in the Asian territories, and it was not a consumer-ready device, despite the fact that their ecosystem, as of now at least, I'm not sure if it was at the time, as of now, it has things like Super Hot and O-Shape, and a few other bits that you would expect to find on the sort of the Quest ecosystem.
You can get a business version of the Pico Neo in the West, but it's
insanely expensive.
It's insanely expensive, and there's a license. So is it going to be a Pico Neo 3 for sale in the West, or is it going to be a Pico Neo 4 for sale in the West? Are they going to take Meta's feet away and have LED, like mini LEDs or mini OLEDs or these lovely pancake lenses? What? Come on, it's exciting.
I'm kind of waiting, right? Because hang on, when is this? When is it? Is it next Wednesday?
It's this
is
Wednesday.
That correct?
This Wednesday.
It's this Wednesday. Okay. So
14th.
It's definitely before the gaming showcase, the Meta gaming showcase.
Yeah.
So what better massive fuck you to Meta than literally going, you know, that Cambria thing that you guys have been banging on about for the last 6 months? Well, here's ours, and it's still in white. I hope. Because I kind of like white as an aesthetic these days. I'm getting more and more into it.
Says the man who wears exclusively black t-shirts.
Yes, but if you look at my Quest setup at the moment, look, I've got white and pink. I've got the Thrill Seeker Edition VR cover on there.
Right, yeah.
It's
you
it's
fanboy
moving that direction. Yeah, a little bit.
I love Thrill. I love Thrill.
So yeah, no, I think it would be fantastic to see them actually throw a big just fire across the bow, you know, and say here you go. You're bringing out your thing. Here is our thing. This is for the Western markets as well, which I'm not sure, but I'm willing to bet that the Western markets are the larger markets for this kind of product. I know that it's quite big in Asia, the VR market, but a lot of their VR market is actually still in arcades.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's a thing that I think Nathi was talking about on their podcast,
because he's been
on the
F
Reality podcast. Yeah, exactly. And he was saying, like, you just walk into these arcades and they just have VR experiences everywhere. And you don't buy a headset over there. You go to the arcades in the same way that you see, like, the classic StarCraft 2 players, heading down to the
cafes.
the internet cafes, rather than having a dedicated PC at home.
Sorry, I'm not fubbing you. I'm actually just trying to see how many they've sold.
How many of the Pico Neo, you mean?
Yeah, they obviously.
I mean, that's going to be a difficult one to find off the cuff. I reckon.
I'm not gonna waste our time.
It's not in the Western market, so people are going to care much less.
HB's here. How you doing, bruv? Hope everything's good. Anybody who doesn't know, HB lives in Moscow and goes to university there, so we're very concerned.
Moscow,
very concerned about him with all the things that are going on at the moment.
Yes.
Right. So, like, I think because the Quest 2 and the Pico Neo 3 kind of came out around the same time, didn't they? So the Neo 3 has an XR2. I think Cash and Carry did a really good. Cash and Carry.
Yeah.
Cash and Carry did a really good video on the Pico Neo 3 because they got their hands on one, and she said that it was really good. It was basically a Quest 2. So
I think it came out about 3 months afterwards, because I remember talking about it and sort of saying, well, how much would you pay not to have a Facebook account attached to your Quest 2? Because that's basically what the Pico Neo came down to, right? Was how much. And we have the promise, the unfulfilled promise at this point still, of not having to have our Facebook accounts attached to our Quest 2.
Yeah. And Andrew Bosworth has stated on Twitter that it was going to happen at the beginning of the year. And we're now moved into Q2.
Well, I mean, we're firmly a couple of weeks into Q2 at this point. So yeah, I am still waiting on being able to, because I keep, even without news, I do keep logging onto the website and being like, can I do it yet? Can I remove my Facebook account, please?
No, I'm becoming a pain in the ass to Oculus support, because every week I log on and I ask them to unlink my account. And basically, I talk to them for about half an hour before they get frustrated and just say, "Oh, we're going to send you an email with the the details of our conversation," and then basically fuck off. Yeah. But I have actually got them to admit that they can unlink my account, but they won't.
Interesting.
Yeah, I actually have it in one of the texts. So what I said to the girl was, I'm assuming it was a girl. I said, okay, like you can unlink my account. And she kind of backtracked. I said, well, I tell you what, I've got my headset here. Unlink my account. I'll sign in. I'll see what happens live. And if it screws up, I'll just re-link my Facebook account. All right, we've sent you an email with the log. This chat is now ended. Bop! There you go.
See, this is the thing, right? Is I keep seeing new information regarding like update 39 and what's going to come and all the stuff to do with actual Facebook stuff that I want, like being able to sit there and being able to do video chats and being able to use Messenger properly. And I want that because I want to be able to be on my headset and jump into that space and be like, dude, get the fuck online, come and play some VR with me.
Yeah.
Because most people are still using Messenger as their primary form of text messaging.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think that's an unfair thing to say.
If you get banned from Facebook, you lose that ability, and that was like fucking hamstrung me, because I've got groups of people that I've got like friends who are different, like friends at work, friends who I play airsoft with, friends who I game with, and we all have separate groups. And when I got banned off Messenger, I was like, oh, I need to talk to... Oh, fuck. And then you realise that you have to have a backup. You have to back them up to email or WhatsApp or Messenger or not Messenger or like text messages. Fucking how old is that? So like for me, this whole Facebook thing, like getting banned, was fucking. It was devastating. I just kind of lost contact with all my friends. It was.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Like I have.
Excuse me.
I have conversations on Messenger. I do not have the ability to contact those people outside of that system.
Yeah. Well, and the main way I talk to my wife when she's at work is I send her pictures of the dog and, we're going out for dinner tonight. And it's basically Messenger because it's quick and it's easy.
And it has the little chat head. And honestly, like it sounds like a simple thing, but that's a big thing.
Yeah, it is. And you can just like, I think I'm chatting away to that person. Oh, fuck it, I'll just ring them. How you doing? Oh, Weeble's talking Russian.
I was going to say that is not German.
Russian. That's Cyrillic. It's Cyrillic. Right. So Neo. So are they? I think they've basically done this to take away the legs of Meta for the gaming showcase on the 20th. Are they going to announce Pico Neo 3 Pro with pancake lenses and micro OLEDs just for shits and giggles?
Honestly, that might be a good thing, but I would settle for a consumer version of the Pico Neo 3 for the Western market.
Yeah.
That actually undercuts the Quest.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that would be my baseline. Say a 256 gig Pico Neo 3 for £299 or dollars if you're in the UK.
Yeah.
So the memory kind of overcuts the Quest 2. I mean, ByteDance is a big company. You don't realise it's like they're a big company. They've got a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, they've got an insane amount of money. And considering how much they pay their creators through TikTok, they should have.
What, you mean they don't pay them fuck all?
This week, right, I hit my first 1 million view video on TikTok.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Okay, I had 1 million views on TikTok. And that's pretty insane, right? That was like 100,000 likes. Like 9,000 comments.
Yeah.
It was insanity, right? It was great. It wasn't a great video, but it went viral, so it's great for me. I've done a little bit of maths to try and work out roughly how much that video made me.
Okay.
It's about 30 quid.
Fuck me. Right,
it's about 30 quid.
To put that into context, one of my videos is about to hit 200,000 views on YouTube. And it's my Virtual Desktop 3 Easy Steps one.
Yep.
That one. That video alone has made me about £500. So, and that's not even close to 1 million views.
No.
You know, if it did 1 million views, I'd have made a couple of grand off the top of that through advertising and whatever. So, yay.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. Paradise Decay's saying, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be a Quest killer. Hope they nail the price. Sebastian gave a little bit away and he was impressed. He's claiming it's going to be a day one buy. Sebastian, Paradise, can you tell us who Sebastian is?
I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring any bells
off the top of my head.
I was going to see if it was like something like Tyrael Wood or. Oh, it's him from MRTV, I think.
Ah.
Is he called Sebastian?
I don't know.
Yeah, Paradise Decay just said MRTV. Okay, I've completely missed that video, Paradise. So, yeah. Well, a day one buy. Wow. Now I'm really excited.
I would be more excited if I hadn't just spent £3,000.
Well, let me see.
That might be a bit of a tough one at this point.
Who's just retired and got a large sum of money from his employer?
Oh, I wonder who.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Mac is going to be purchasing many, many headsets this year.
I have to be careful because I am a pensioner now and I have a limited amount of funds, and that big pot of money, it's vaporware. I can't get my hands on it. My wife's got control of that. I'm not allowed to, because I'll go out and buy Bitcoin and fucking spend it on hookers and cash.
Okay, so
hookers and crack.
Speaking of buying several headsets this year, then
the
one that you are going to buy, let's move on to that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, sadly, it's Bradley had access to somebody who had an actual Cambria in their hands. So instead of taking pictures of it and getting the guy into trouble, what he did was he got one of his friends to 3D model it. And this is what they came up with. Now that looks fucking amazing. So if you
don't know what it reminds me of, it reminds me of something.
Does it not remind you of that the flow? What was it called? The flow?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So just to explain to everybody what is going on with the tech, if you look at the side, you have a camera. Okay, I'm assuming there's another one on the other side. Now, the Cambria does not need as many cameras to track the position of the controllers, because the controllers themselves have cameras built into them. And that is to stop them from being occluded if you reach behind your back, or the controllers pass in front of each other, or say, for example, you're using a ProTube VR or something like that, and you are moving and the cameras lose track of the controllers. The cluster of sensors in the middle are your color pass-through, and I am led to believe that there is a depth sensor to give you the sense of like 3D depth when you're actually in pass-through. So, but you got to remember, this is a productivity device that just happens to be backwards compatible with the Quest 2. So it uses the XR2 chip, but it's got these expensive pancake lenses in. It's got we are led to believe it has mini LEDs in, and that's another article which has just popped up on. Okay, we're back in the room. That's an article that has just popped up on Upload VR, literally as we were getting ready to do the podcast, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
What do I think about the Cambria renders? I love it.
I
love the look of it.
Oh.
The thing is, right, the thing that really gets to me after a 4-hour play session is the weight of the Quest 2.
Yeah.
And this has to be lighter, right?
It has
they're not going to fit that, 400 grams, 500 grams, or whatever it is. They're not going to fit all of that weight into that small of a body. There has to be a good reason for it being as small as it is. And that's got me excited. Like it's black, so whatever, it can be black.
Black can be the new white.
The fact that it's, I want to see. We mentioned last time, I want to see them do something better aesthetically with these things, because they're becoming a statement piece.
Yeah.
Like having it on the side should be a thing of beauty, and frankly, the Quest 2 with all of its accessories is not.
No. But we have talked about this before in the podcast, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. But this is one step closer to that.
The PSVR 2, from what we've seen of the renders, looks incredible, doesn't it? You want to put that in your living room next to your television so that when people walk in, they go, "Oh, wow, what the fucking hell is that?" And that the Cambria doesn't, or the article alludes to the fact they're going to call it a Meta Pro, which I think is a shit name.
Oh, they better not call it a Meta Pro. Like, it's just such a terrible idea. There's no reason to call it the Meta Pro. Call it the Meta 2. Call it the Quest 2.5. Call it something.
Call it the Quest 2 Pro. Call it the Quest 2 something. Call it fucking Gladys. Don't call it the Pro. Xbox Series X, Xbox One.
Have you got the other renders?
I have, but I don't have them. I don't have them set up.
Okay, that's fine. There are some other rendered images of this. It wasn't just that one image.
No, there's more.
The one that I am very interested in is from the underneath. So, if it was the Quest, you would be seeing it like this, right?
Hold on. I've got the Cambria up. Right. Okay. Go.
There is a reason why. That's the one that I'm most interested in.
Okay, which one is it? Because I can actually get it up on screen now.
Okay, so there are 4. Yeah, it's the one where you can see the lenses clearly.
Okay.
From the sort of back and underneath of it.
Okay, give us a second. I'm just trying to quickly find it. It is actually listed on the Cambria. I've actually got 8 renders.
Okay, I can only see 4, but
Cambria. Oh, you want the one? So it's a sort of 3/4 on, but you can see the lenses. Is that the one? Okay. Right. Okay. There we go. Right.
There's a reason why
crap.
I want.
I'll just make it so you can't see it because it's just filled the screen with a big grey.
Oh, jeez.
Blob. Yeah. Sorry. I'll shrink that down. Right. Carry on talking. I'll shrink it down and we can have a look.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm most interested in this particular render, and if this is an accurate render,
which I trust, sadly, it's Bradley, so I would say that it is.
What to you? What is wrong with that image?
Hold on a second. Just I'm going to put it up on screen, and then I
want to know what the viewer's opinion is as well of it, because I can see one big problem with this particular render.
It's coming up on screen now. It's on screen now.
So
light bleed.
Light bleed is light bleed is the big one, right? Now they may have fixed that in some way because of the way the lenses are working or the screens are working. Fine. I'm not upset that they may have fixed that. However, from a gaming perspective, there needs to be an add-on similar to that. What was the other pass-through headset we discussed last week?
The Lynx.
The Lynx, yeah. So they had an adapter that went onto its go-around glasses.
They did, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that was a really good idea. And if they don't have that for this, then I'm going to call it now and say that this is nothing but a productivity device.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
You aren't immersing yourself in this shit.
No. That to me, like, it's a great point, actually. That to me says that is to be used as an AR device.
Yeah, as a pass-through device.
Unless that's, like, they've physically taken it. Excuse me. Oh, I've got burpees. Like with the Lynx, where you can just have it, like, up, and then you can flip it down, and then you can have the adapter where you obviously get the immersion. Unless that's just what Bradley's done there. He's just took that off. But it doesn't have a pivot. It doesn't look like it has a pivot, does it?
No. So this is the other thing I was going to say is the fact that it's got the cross section between the Elite strap and the Halo strap, because that's what it essentially looks like, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. Okay, the image is down. We're back.
Yeah, they're like what they're essentially saying with this particular render is that this is not designed to be moved. This is designed to be worn in one way and one way only.
Yeah.
There doesn't look like there's any room to have any kind of facial interface put on there for anybody that may need it for one reason or another. Which means that also I don't think there are going to be any accessories being produced for this particular headset.
It's back up on the screen. looking at the pad that goes across the top, I think this is going to sit on your forehead area. Basically the where my slap gap is, about here.
Well, have you noticed something? Have you noticed something about where the power button is on this?
This what here?
The power, I don't think you can see it on that render. You can't see it on, well, you can see a button,
Yeah.
but it's on the arm.
Hold on. Where's the other one? There you go. Right, the other one's up.
And there's another render where it looks completely from underneath it, where you can see another button, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's the same button. It's the same button. So there's one button on the arm, which means that there are no buttons on the actual faceplate of the headset. Okay, the actual like viewing part of the headset.
Oh, so maybe that does actually pivot. You know, maybe it could. We don't know.
No, we don't.
Sorry, Atomics has just made a very good point there, and he said it's a render based on some guy's memory. Well,
I doubt that heavily. I doubt that it is based on a memory alone heavily. I would imagine if I was having an interview with somebody that had a Cambria, even if I wasn't going to release it, I would video that shit.
Yeah, I think that that Brad Lynch and Marcus Kane, who did the renders, I think they had the actual pictures of the Cambria while they did it, because you can't just go. Have you ever seen that Chinese knockoff of the BMW Mini?
Nope.
It's hilarious. It's basically like somebody looked at a Mini and went, "Oh right," and then went home and drew it, and then faxed it to somebody in China and said, "Oh, make one of these because they're really cool." And it's all like all glitched out. So I mean, I trust Brad. I think that is what Cambria looks like. But you can't until you actually get the final product in your hand. You know, it might have a pivot. It might have a pivot like the Lynx. You know, you might just put it on your head. It might pivot. It might have, the light bleed thing that you said was really, as soon as I looked at that render, I was like, light bleed. And that's a massive loss to immersion.
Atom X, I do agree with you. Like they would let the Kid of Light, that kind of light bleed slide. I do agree with you. I think there will probably be some form of blinkers or blinders, as it will, that go around it, a facial interface of some description. But the fact that it's not on the render suggests that the person didn't have access to it, or they were only interested in it from an AR perspective.
Yeah. We don't know. I mean, we're two fucking amateurs, and we've gone, light bleed. So I'm pretty sure that they've kind of,
I have a feeling it will probably have two modes, same as Anchorage is saying. Similar to that of the Lynx, where they've said, right, here is the AR version. Because the thing is, with AR, you do actually want light bleed. It might sound weird, but you want it because you want to feel like you're in the room. Whereas in VR, we want to feel like we're completely out of the room. Yeah. We don't want to be there.
Absolutely.
And so that makes a big difference.
Right, so Resolve VR in the chat has just actually made a really good point. He says, is it going to be consumer friendly, and what do you think the price is going to be? So
it's not going to be consumer friendly. Sorry, I'm going to say that without tongue tying myself. It's not going to be consumer friendly as far as price is concerned.
No, it's not. It's not going to be a Quest 2 price. I think double. I think a 256 gigabyte Quest 2 double. So it's going to be £700 to £800. That's my guess.
I'm going to go one step further than that. I think it's going to be $999 or $11,999 or $11,999. Sorry.
You just keep saying nines. 11,
Yep, nines all the way. Just all the nines, mate.
All the nines. Yeah, I mean, like Paradise made a point there. They have already said it's not a consumer VR headset. It's not going to be cheap. I mean, think about it. You're getting the pancake lenses. You're getting the mini LEDs. You're getting face tracking, eye tracking. that alone is going to add cost. I mean, those lenses are apparently supposed to be extremely expensive. But
here's the thing, right? I have a question for you, Mac.
Okay.
If I know that it's going to be a difficult question for you because you already own an Index, okay? If you did not own an Index,
okay,
and this was £1,000, would you buy an Index or Cambria?
Cambria. Right. We go back to this every single time we do a podcast. Right. As soon as you put eye tracking into a VR headset, you can do foveated rendering. Boom.
Yep.
And what did you... Was it 2.5 to 3.6? They were your magic numbers last 2 weeks ago? And
yep.
it was like a saving. Okay, so actually we can bring in another subject.
To be fair, that is PSVR.
Yeah.
2 specific, those numbers. But
those numbers are specific. But we can bring another subject which we were going to talk about.
See you later, PD.
Oh, is he off? Okay, see you later, mate. Yeah, thanks for calling in, Paradise. Yeah, so Green Hell and asynchronous space warp, and this all kind of drops in to that what we were just about to talk about. So if you're unaware, foveated rendering with eye tracking means that you can basically on your screen you can render the game at 4K. So basically wherever I'm looking, the game is at 4K, and this is how your eyes work really, and the rest of it can be blurry because it doesn't matter because you're not looking at it. So you're only rendering a part of the screen at 4K, and then the rest of it is at a lower resolution. So this massive, I mean, like using PSVR for an example, this massively reduces the load on your GPU, CPU, which is the XR2 chip in the Quest 2 headset. And say, for example, you then use a technique of application space warp as well on top of that, where you're actually rendering half frames. And then you're using the application space warp to extrapolate a synthetic frame in between. So if you're running at 90 frames per second, you would actually run at 45, and then you would use application space warp to render a synthetic frame and bring it up to 90 frames per second, which is what Green Hell has done on the Quest 2 really well, because that game looks incredible. You know, I said on my first impressions that I think that's the best looking game on the Quest 2. So if you throw foveated rendering with eye tracking in, doesn't matter, it's got an XR2 chip, that is going to be one powerful headset.
Yeah, and Rezol's just asked, if it's not consumer friendly, what kind of content do you expect to be on the Cambria? Pure Cambria stuff, I don't expect there to be anything on there that isn't productivity based or yoga based. I don't expect there to be any games that are specific to Cambria.
No.
Because there will not be a big enough market to bring in the developers for it.
Yeah.
What developers might do is build a version of their game that happens to run at or have a couple of extra features, like maybe, I don't know, Pistol Whip has an eye tracking feature for some reason, you know, that only works with Cambria. They might do that. I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah. I'd just like to point out here that it has been stated that Cambria is backwards compatible with Quest 2. So if you have a gaming library on your Quest 2, it will work on Cambria, but it maybe won't take advantage of the face tracking, the eye tracking, foveated rendering, but it will work. So
I have a question, right? And audience, please jump in on this as well.
Hey, Surgical! Surgical's in.
Oh, you're right, Serge. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, so you guys as well, tell me, who do you think, because I've thought about this a lot today, who do you think
would win a fight between Godzilla and... No, sorry.
From a pure consumer standpoint, not a business standpoint, who do you think is going to be the largest audience for Cambria?
Tech geeks like me and you. Absolutely.
I disagree.
No,
I disagree.
I think they're gonna go, oh, we're going to sell this to business and we're going to do it for productivity, and then the geeks amongst us are going to buy one like me, and I'm going to use my Cambria or Quest Pro. Don't call it Quest Pro. I'm going to use my Cambria for everything else as well. I'm going to plug it in and I'm going to do all my video editing on it in giant screens. I'm basically going to be wearing this fucking headset all day long. That's why I'm so excited, because I think this thing is going to be incredible. Yeah.
So Paint Pros Colorado has said enthusiasts, and the people that I think are going to buy it the most, they are enthusiastic, and they are, but for a very specific thing.
Oh, intriguing.
Any guesses? Just out there guesses.
Oh, well, it's got the AR pass through. It's got face tracking. VR chat.
VR chats. Here we go.
I got it!
We have a group of people, dedicated group of people,
yes,
that
absolutely.
want eye tracking, facial tracking. Like, it is the biggest platform for using those two features more than anything else.
Yeah.
And this comes with the ability of being wireless. It is fast, it is light, which means that they can do much greater amounts of time in VR chats, and they can socialize better because of the eye tracking and facial tracking. And here's the other thing. I don't know if any of you remember, I think we briefly mentioned it on a previous podcast. There was mention in an Oculus SDK, Meta SDK, Quest SDK, of full body tracking from using inside out cameras.
Yeah, because don't forget, in the Cambria, the cameras are on the controllers as well. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. He gets it. This is going to be huge for things like VR chat, because this is what people want to do. They want to be able to go to clubs. They want full body tracking. I even saw an advert for a content creator the other day on Twitter that was asking people with full body tracking capabilities to come and be backing dancers for a music video he was producing in VR chat.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm a big fan of Thrill Seeker. So if you don't know who Thrill Seeker is, he's a content creator on YouTube. I think he's one of the biggest, isn't he? He's like 600,000 views.
I think he is the biggest, isn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, he's an amazing content creator. He's a really nice guy, and his big thing is VR chat. And he has an index, and he has the full, like, the Vive trackers, and he has like avatars, and he does all this sort of stuff. And he's a really big sort of. I mean, he's not a Shambassador, right? He's not an Oculus ambassador either.
Are they Oculus ambassadors now?
Meta ambassadors. He is not a Meta ambassador. But the best thing that Meta could do would be to send him a Cambria and about a month before it releases, and let him do some VR chat stuff with the full body tracking, facial tracking, and they will knock it out the park. Because if he likes it, then it's going to sell a fucking boatload, because all the people who follow him on VR chat. Yeah. Wow, that's really good. I never even thought about that. Yeah, that's a massive point.
If they were going to sell, like they've stated, I think, that they want to do 1 to 2 million units this year alone. So let's, for the sake of argument, let's say that they announce it next week. It's unlikely to happen, but let's say that they actually announce a release date next week. And for the sake of argument also, let's say that it is 4 weeks from the point of the Meta Gaming Showcase.
To get in your hands?
For the actual purchase date.
Okay, right. Okay.
So probably looking at between 6 to 12 weeks from that point for the first people to start getting in their hands.
Yeah, July.
If they're going to try and shift 1 million units of something that expensive, they're going to have a really good reason for people to purchase it. I don't see enterprise being interested enough in it to order that many units, which means they need another group of people to be doing it. And yeah, tech enthusiasts, they're going to be ordering it, but are they going to be ordering it in their millions? I don't know. And that is where I think a lot of people who use VR chat as their primary social structure, where they're using VR chat for possibly their primary life.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people that use VR chat in such a way as to replace reality.
Yeah. It is. And as the T-shirt says, eat, sleep, respawn, repeat. And that, you know, sleep for 8 hours, work for 8 hours, VR chat for 8 hours. And there are people who do that. You know.
I mean, they probably have 6 hours sleep and do 10 hours in VR, but yeah.
We're going back to Parzival, aren't we? Because he in the second book, when the neural interface thing came in, so you could only spend 12 hours in the neural interface. So he would sleep for 8 hours, he would work out, he would eat, and then he would spend 12 hours in the Oasis. So that is. That could become people's lives. So I'm just going to catch up with the chat because it's gone absolutely bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I was just about to say with Anthrish's latest comment, I'd pay $1,000 for full body tracking, face tracking, eye tracking, better resolution, and field of view than the Quest, but it'll have to work with Steam without issues. It's not going to work with Steam without issues unless you're using AirLink or Virtual Desktop. And let's face it, we're not going to be using AirLink out of those two options, in my opinion.
No, and you are not going to get a better FOV at the moment. Sorry. You're not. The lenses for micro LEDs or these mini LEDs, they're cutting edge, but they've already stated they can't do wide angle FOVs without distortion. Like the Pimax lenses, they have these crazy sort of pancake verse and Fresnel combination lenses to give you that massive field of view, like near human eye. But if you've watched any of Sadly It's Bradley's videos, he's basically stated that these new pancake lenses are so cutting edge that you're not going to get this increase in FOV that you want. It's going to be, they've basically concentrated on getting that FOV right. So you might get 110, 115 maybe, but you're not going to get this full sort of human vision FOV yet. Sorry.
The resolution is going to be better though.
Oh Christ. Did you see the video where Thrillseeker put the Vario Aero on and he took a knee? He took a fucking knee because that shit was so amazing. And that's a guy.
I mean, just with Cambria, but yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Yeah. So, I'm, you know, somebody posted on my YouTube channel community page today and said, I've got a Quest 2. VR is a gimmick.
I'm going to say this loudly so that idiot can hear me, even if he's not in the chat.
Be polite.
Right?
She was a young lady and she may be on drugs or something.
Yep, no, just so that we are clear, okay? If you think that VR is a gimmick after using the Quest 2, you're not using it right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you don't like VR, fine. If it's not your thing, that's completely fine, right? When the Oculus Quest 2 was the biggest selling console of 2021,
yeah,
it completely took over the holiday season for all markets in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
You cannot deny how important that is.
It is. It's the Quest 2 has outsold the Xbox Series X by a large margin. It's just behind the PlayStation 5. That might be due to supply problems. Have you read that comment? Have you read that comment from AppG? You have, haven't you? You've just read it. So
that's my favourite comment of the week.
In the chat, AppG has just said, "I don't mind the current FOV. Turns out that I have a neck with some amazing features."
No, that wasn't the one I saw. The one I saw was AppG. Pro tip, don't use the Quest as a suppository. Thank you, man. I needed that. I needed that a lot. No, the thing is, right, I'm going to reiterate, okay, just so that we're 100% clear. If you don't like VR, I don't have a problem with that, right? Yeah, if VR is not your thing, in the same way that Xbox is not really my thing, and PlayStation, like, is not really my thing. If I'm going to game, I'm going to game on a PC, or I'm going to game in my headset. That's fine, but I'm not going to make the mistake of saying that Xbox and PlayStation are a fucking gimmick. That's a ridiculous statement.
It is. It is. And do you know what? Do you know what I find really strange? Right. So one of my favourite authors on Upload VR is Jamie Feltham, and he still suffers from motion sickness to this day. Excuse me. And he's been playing VR for like 6 years, same as we all have, 6 years. Yeah. So, and I've got friends who can't play VR because of medical conditions, and I've got friends who they can play VR like Beat Saber, but they can't do Onward because the free movement makes them feel sick. I'm basically impervious to motion sickness, apart from one game I tried, which we've already talked about. I'm not going to mention the name, and that gave me hugely vomit-inducing motion sickness, and I actually couldn't review it in the end. Yeah, so it isn't for everybody, but my wife tried VR a couple of weeks ago, and she was blown away. She was blown away. She just didn't expect it, and I was so happy and so surprised that that was her reaction, because it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
And I just throw the flip side as well. You just mentioned that there are people that can't use. Excuse me. There are people that can't use VR because of medical conditions.
Yeah.
As I've been learning over the past month or so, the exact opposite also weighs true. There are people that have medical conditions that can't do anything in their lives. Yes. But VR gives them access to that, whether they are bedridden, whether they are stuck in a wheelchair. I met this absolutely phenomenal guy recently.
Oh,
and the Mac, I spoke to you about him. His name is Triple Helix. It's Triple Helix, all one word, and Helix with the X is a triple X at the end. He has a YouTube channel, so go and check him out. He is a legally blind VR content creator.
How?
He is an amazing guy, and I've been playing some VR with him over the past few weeks. I've been getting to know him, and yeah, like I'm not saying that he can't necessarily go out of the house and do stuff. Like, we haven't gone too into that with our conversations. But what I am saying is that he obviously uses that in order to experience things that he might not otherwise be at. Like, if he's legally blind, right? And I'm fairly certain he can't see out of one eye at the very least, and only partial in the other, but that's off the top of my head. He isn't going to be going, as far as I'm aware, and Triple, if you ever listen to this and I'm wrong, please shout the fuck out at me and tell me I'm completely wrong. But he's not going to be going and going to play Airsoft.
Yeah, because he's partially sighted.
And maybe he's not playing Onward. I don't know, but VR gives him and people like him many, many different choices to try things. And if it doesn't work out for them, great. But they have the option to try it, which they may not otherwise ever have the option to do outside of VR.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to catch up on the chat here while you're talking. So
that's fine. I think we need to move on to other things anyway. So we've spoken about Cambria renders. Let's briefly talk about Airbridge, shall we?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there is a right, here we go. This is the air bridge. This is the D-Link DWA-X1850. Right, so basically what happened was a software engineer found references to a AirBridge USB dongle, and I think it was called the DWA F18 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Right, okay, the picture is down, so we're back on. So, like, I did some research, and basically John Carmack is one of my favourite people. And I love his unscripted chats at Facebook, Meta, Connect, whatever the fuck they call them these days. So I went back to 2019, right? And in 2019, when the Quest was the big thing, John Carmack did actually discuss an air bridge, some sort of USB dongle that would connect directly with your PC. Now this is before AirLink, mind. So this seems to be all of that coming together. They're going to release a USB dongle which will air bridge to your Quest 2 and give you the perfect performance, apparently. So what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that. So first of all, one of the reasons why we need Wi-Fi 6, or we would rather have Wi-Fi 6, is that we want that 1200 megabits per second throughput.
We do, yeah.
Now, admittedly, we almost never utilize that full 1200 megabits, but we want to have the ability to. The wider that range is, the greater opportunity for you to have better bandwidth with your wireless VR gameplay. There is a reason why we use Ethernet cables with gigabit adapters. It is because that's what we want to put through, okay?
Yeah.
Lots and lots and lots of data all at once. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we do not have Ethernet cables attaching our USB hard drives. Because it's like that we don't do that, and USB hard drives are worse the wear for it as far as data throughput.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, because like USB is a much more stable platform for that sort of thing. But I just cannot see a USB dongle being able to put out enough for this to be truly viable.
Okay, so
I want to be wrong, though.
You do want to be wrong. Now, bearing in mind, John Carmack is a very clever person as well. I did a video right back when my channel first started, and I did a Wi-Fi hotspot from your PC, Wi-Fi hotspot from a USB dongle, Wi-Fi hotspot from a dedicated router. The Wi-Fi hotspot was difficult because in the UK you're not allowed to broadcast a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi channel, something to do with the law, but you can get around it anyway. That worked really well. The router was the best option, a dedicated router for your Quest. The USB dongle was a fucking nightmare. It would work and then whoop, it would go up like 200, 300 milliseconds latency, come back down, be perfectly stable, and it was crap. So on that, Upload VR posted on Twitter, and Guy Godin actually commented on it, and he said using USB protocols to transmit data is not ideal. And this is a guy who knows his shit. Do you know what I mean? This is the guy who did virtual desktop. So unless they've got some very, very clever software in there, the dedicated route is still the best route to take if you're going to be using Airlink or virtual desktop. But there are clever people out there.
There are clever people out there. The thing is I'm a little bit worried about this because it's a D-Link. It's not being produced by Meta.
Yeah, but
this is a D-Link product. So is it going to be a D-Link product that's exclusive to Meta?
I think it's going to be like the link cable. It's going to be a Meta product. I mean, the link cable, even now, can do stuff that my PC and my Quest can't. It's over.
But it is £90.
It's fucking. And do you know what it's doing at the moment? It's powering my fucking webcam. £90 worth of fucking cable is powering my webcam. Because
the thing is, you can get 90% of the throughput and stability using a third-party £30 cable. Just so that we're clear.
Dude, I could have stuck that fucking cable up my arse and probably got as much value for money. Like, when the link cable first released, and it was like, it was $90 in the UK, and it was £90 it was $90 in the US, and it was £90 in the UK, and I worked out that it was like there was like a £40 premium just to be released in the UK. Like, why the fuck do we get shafted by all this shit? Anyway, the link cable is so powerful and advanced that the Quest 2 and a really good PC still can't do it justice. And if they're going to bring this D-Link thing in, which costs £70, which that's a...
Is that how much it costs?
Well, the dongle that it's based on is £70. The DWA X1850, it costs...
Oh yeah, but don't forget that $50 markup once you add the little blue M symbol to it.
Yeah, okay, we'll not go there. It's John Carmack in his unscripted speech talked about the quality of, like, so basically what's happening is Meta are concerned that somebody would try Airlink or virtual desktop and they won't have a great experience, and they'll go, oh, this is not for me, and they'll go away. So John Carmack stated that the people he's talking to are saying we need to have something that you can just plug in and it works. Stable, boom. You plug it in.
Which, they're not wrong.
You're not wrong. That's absolutely fine. I mean, not everybody's a tech geek. Not everybody can run virtual desktop. I mean, Airlink is easy to use. You know, takes very little setup. But what they're saying is if somebody's going to do wireless, they need to have a dongle that they can plug in. The Quest connects to it, and it gives a perfect situation every single time. Doesn't matter what the rest of your family are doing. If they're streaming Netflix and they're doing this, they're doing that, then this dongle just gives you a perfect wireless experience.
And that is what we need. But if for that to be the case, the software has to be fucking perfect. It has to literally be press install, like you plug it in, it comes up with an installation exe. Yeah. You click install, you tell it where you want it installed. No more difficult than that. No options, no nothing. Yeah. And I want to see literally a window with a green on button and off button. I want there to be no doubt whatsoever. Yeah. I want that. And then I want the Quest 2 to do the rest. I want it to come up and say, we've noticed there is a USB AirBridge dongle in your vicinity. Do you want to connect to it? Yes, done.
Right. So start the Oculus software on your PC, going to settings, going to experimental, turn Airlink on. Why? Why? Why do you have to do that? Why, when you fire up your Oculus software on your PC, does AirLink not just come on automatically? Do you know that? It's fucking
dumb.
retarded. It's fucking retarded. You put your headset on, you think, all right, okay, AirLink. I'll do AirLink. Oh fuck! I forgot to turn it on in the software. Take your headset off. Go to your PC. Click, click, click. Beta, AirLink, yes. Put your headset on. Allow, yes. It's fucking retarded. Why don't you put your headset on?
Weeble is right. It has gotten better, and like it does do that to an extent now.
Yeah.
But it was a long time coming, and it's still not as easy. Like, I don't have to. If I press the on button for my PC, nothing else, right? I have a lock screen on my PC, but if I just press the on button, and then load up virtual desktop, I don't have to touch my PC.
Yeah, exactly.
So
because
realistically, what I'm saying, I can be blind with my headset on without my pass-through, reach around and find my on button. That's the extent that my PC needs to be involved. I don't need to touch a mouse. I don't need to touch a keyboard. And that's what AirLink should have been.
And that's why I love Guy Godin. Because he's got it so that you can just, you go, oh, okay, boop, Oculus on, virtual desktop on. I can do everything else that I need to do from my virtual screens. And it's literally apps, virtual desktop. That's it. 2 clicks and you're in. And then you can do everything from your virtual desktop screen. It's incredible. I think we should stop. Should we have a bit of lightness? Should we have a bit of lightness?
Yeah, we've been pretty aggressive.
We have been pretty aggressive.
Thus far.
Okay, right. So this is one of my favourite things that happened this week. So basically what happened is that Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis, he posted a picture. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. It's on. He posted a picture. He'd obviously, because he's an ambassador, he's been sent a brand new headset. So he posted a picture of the controller.
I like how we're going to be light and not aggressive, and you show me the image that makes us be passively aggressive.
Okay, so if anybody can't see it, the Oculus button has still got a fucking Oculus logo on it, right? It hasn't got a Meta logo. The Meta logo's on the tracking ring of the control. That's fair enough. It looks very pretty. But there's an Oculus button. And this is a legacy problem, right? This is a legacy problem that Mark Zuckerberg cannot get rid of because all the games that have been released for Quest and Quest 2 refer to the Oculus button, and they can't get rid of it. And I think the Quest 3 is going to have an Oculus button, and that makes me fucking happy because I could just see Mark Zuckerberg looking at that controller going, you fucking. That's if Mark Zuckerberg ever gets angry because he does the strange hand thing. Ooh. Right, that's it. That's our last dig at Facebook. I love Meta. I do. I love my Quest 2 headset. I think it's the most amazing piece of kit. But you need to get rid of this Facebook fucking bullshit. So
so first of all, PD has... Yeah,
oh, he's
PD
back!
Just said that Mike from VR Oasis is not actually an ambassador.
Oh, was he not? I thought he was. Oh, okay.
No, PD would know. He
is an ambassador.
They have a little Facebook group for their ambassadorship, I assume.
I know,
welcome back, PD.
I know BMF is. I know Beardo Benjo is. I think Gamertag is. I know Paradise is. So
I would like to see the full list actually of who it is and who isn't. That would be interesting.
Well, I mean, basically, they're the guys that I watch. So Paradise, Beardo, Gamertag, in the UK that is, Mike, and then obviously we got Nathy, Thrillseeker. I know Thrillseeker isn't. Steve Knows, Steve Knows is an ambassador as well. Yeah, BMF.
But yeah,
BMF.
Weeble, just to point out, mate. it's not a fake image. The Quest 2 controllers are all white. You are correct. And Paradise Decay, the strap isn't VR cover. The strap is actually Kiwi's design top model of their knuckle grips.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm not trying to endorse them as a company, but as that product specifically is fantastic and is well worth the money.
So what you can see here is this is the Oculus controller ring. This is the controller is now grey, and then this bit here is the Kiwi design sort of grip with
just
the
so that we can
here.
have a comparison.
Okay.
I have literally.
Can you hold it up?
Here you go. Here you go. This is the Kiwi design.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Strap.
That's it.
There you go. So that you can see exactly what they can see on there.
Right a bit.
There you go.
Left a bit. Left. Up. There you go. That's exactly.
There you go.
That's
that
exactly
is the exact
what Mike,
image.
Yeah.
This is mine at home. This is a real Quest 2 controller.
There you go.
An Oculus Quest 2 controller, I might add.
They're going to be worth a lot of money eventually, when Meta rules the world. When I rule the world. Okay, so what do you want to talk about next? Because we've covered Green Hell, we've covered Meta Cambria, we've covered Airbridge, we've covered Pico. Yeah.
We have. I could actually do with a
comfort break.
4-minute break because, as it turns out, for those of you who don't drink alcohol, this stuff does stuff to you.
Especially, I mean, Weeble. I think Weeble will definitely recommend this. Is that when you get older and you have you have to have a drink, you need to wee more. And now Weeble is our senior alcohol product development manager. So let's just see what he has to say in the chat. Right, we're going to take a 5-minute comfort break, and then we're going to be back. I'm going to put it in the chat.
We'll be back with, just to give you an idea of what we're coming back with, we are going to be talking about Green Hell VR, which Mac has been pretty hyped about these last few days. And we're going to do a little bit of speculation. A little bit of speculation on something, which I'd like you guys to join in with. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, come back in 5 minutes and we'll go through that stuff. And and I'm also, I apologise for those of you who aren't in the UK, but I cannot afford to send them further. There will in fact be a giveaway today as well. We are going to be giving away something. For those of you anywhere in the UK, you can take part. If you guys in anywhere else want to take part and gift it to somebody else that's already in the UK, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, stick with us, guys. We'll be back soon.
Okay. And we are back. We are
back.
We are back. I've been busy in the chat, so you might get a bit of spam.
Happy days. I like spam. I enjoy the conversation. So, once again, to reiterate for anyone who's just joined us, we are going to be giving away some bits and bobs over the coming weeks and months. These are going to be items that I have reviewed and looked at, that I have been sent, and you guys get to reap the benefits.
I've got some stuff as well, so...
So,
yeah.
Based on some of Mac's more recent videos, I would like to pose the question for those of you who want to win at the possibility of some lovely accessory goods. He's laughing, but it's not that funny.
No,
it's just an interesting question.
You were getting spammed on the chat, mate. You are getting spammed on the chat.
Fair enough. So the question is to you guys: in order to be able to enter into this, you simply have to tell me what the name of John Wick's first dog was called.
Don't post up. Don't post it. Don't post it, or you won't win. Dog.
But yeah, tell me what John Wick's first dog was called, and you can be entered into win.
You can hear the googling. You can hear it. You can hear people. Huge. Who's going to be first?
If you have to Google this, I'm disappointed in you.
No, actually, I'm a massive John Wick fan, but I actually can't remember.
No, Paradise Decay, it was definitely not called Matrix. Anyway, so our next particular interesting thing.
You're frozen? Oh, no, you're back.
Yeah, no, my computer's making some weird noises, like it's connecting, disconnecting over and over and over again.
Is this your new supercomputer, or is this just your crappy old laptop?
No, we're on the new supercomputer. The problem is that I'm still using the old iRuin software.
Beagle, Pitbull, Trinity, Daisy. See? They're not doing it. Right, come on then. Let's go.
Right, okay, so the next topic we're going to discuss is one that I'm not going to have a huge amount of input in because I haven't managed to play it. But Mac, you have been playing a huge amount of Green Hell.
Oh, it is brutal. It's fucking brutal. The more I get into the game, the more I realise that the people who made it, so in Cuvo and Creepy Jar, you vicious bastards. So on your arm, you have a watch, right? And your watch tells you your time. It tells you your GPS. You can also use it to go to sleep. Pardon me. But it also has like a dial, which has taken me a while to figure out. And basically, if you go into water and drink some water, you get the fucking word's gone out of my head. When something goes, a parasite. You get a parasite, right? So every time you drink water, you get one parasite. So if you sit there going, oh, this is wonderful, I'm drinking water, you get like 10 parasites, right? And they fucking poison you. And then you have another thing, which is your stomach poison level, and it's just it's fucking brutal. And they kind of go, all right, here's the sort of overall way to play the game. This is your backpack. This is your radio. You know, kind of like Walkabout, kind of like Walking Dead. And then they kind of dump you and just go, all right, okay, fucking get on with it. And you can get bitten, you can get poisoned, you can eat a mushroom which will fucking kill you. It's brutal, but I kind of like it. But But the thing that oh, you've gone. You've gone.
I've completely gone.
Yeah, gone. I'll just keep talking. You come back in a second.
Yeah.
But the thing I like about it is that it uses a technique called application space warp. And in application space warp, basically what happens is that your Quest 2 can run at, say if your frame rate is 90 frames per second, application space warp can run at 45 frames per second. And using application space warp, your Quest 2 can look at the previous frame, look at the next frame, and it creates a synthetic frame in between, which brings you back up to 90 frames per second. So your Quest 2 isn't working any harder, but you can get better graphical quality because it's only working at 45 frames per second. And Green Hell does this so well. And this is why Green Hell is such a nice looking game, is because it's doing 90 frames per second, which you need to not feel sick in VR, but because it's using application space warp, it's running at 90 frames per second and it's extrapolating frames in between, and it's just brilliant. So as far as I'm aware, and I have sort of tweeted the devs about this, I think the application space warp, this is the first time application space warp has been applied to a AAA game release, if you understand what I mean, because I would class Green Hell as a AAA game release. This is like a big studio in Cuvo and Creepy Jar. This is like a big release, and yeah, it just looks brilliant. There's like a bit where I'm like walking through a field full of flowers and there's butterflies, and in the background you can see like a waterfall and the water is see-through, and you can see the fish inside it, obviously, because you need to.
I've had to put that on there because
you don't know what's going on.
My iRuin software has completely died, and I can't get it back. So we're gonna carry on with me without a face for a little while I try and figure this out.
Okay, mate. No problem.
But I'll figure it out while we're talking. So it won't be too big of an issue. You just won't be able to see my
Happy,
weird,
smiling
wonderful
face.
facial expressions.
You can't see the big ginger guy. Right, I'm going to go through the. So we got Dog, Matrix, Doggo, Beagle, Pitbull, Trinity, Daisy, Dog, Spot, Dazing and Haven. Got Traveling Man. How you doing, mate? Stamina. Was that why your arm was all wrinkled? No, that's just my normal arm, mate. Just seen trailer Into the Radius for MetaQuest 2. Yeah, that looks crazy. Oh, have you seen the trailer for what's the new Half-Life Alyx mod called?
Oh, it's called Levitation. And yeah, that is something I wanted to discuss actually, because it blew me away seeing that particular trailer.
Okay. Shall we talk about it when you get back, or do you want to just keep going through the chat until you get back?
No, just keep plodding along, mate, because I'm not sure whether this is actually going to work or not. So,
oh, Paradise Decay. He says, I don't know if you saw it, but I played Green Hell in a real wood.
I did, mate. That was.
I missed that one.
Yeah, so you did playing in a real wood with Green Hell, but you also did painting in a museum or an art gallery, which
with Vermilion.
Mate, I am loving these particular videos.
Did you get your what's his name? Bob
Ross.
Bob Ross. There's no such thing as a mistake. It's just a happy accident.
You know, I see videos of from Bob Ross because obviously, like my mum was big into Bob Ross, so every time I go around hers, she's just got paintings that she's made from Bob Ross videos up around the house.
Samurai Showdown VR. No, there's a game coming out called Samurai Slaughterhouse. It's on my radar. It's like big time on my radar.
I've actually played it. I played it a while back, actually. Like, we're talking April, May last year. I got sent a version of it to try. And I had a really good time, even as basic as it was back then, because the developer for it not only has he done all of the visuals himself, but all of the audio is also produced by him. As a single person, he has done everything from the very ground upwards.
All right. Cool.
Okay, no, my phone has just died as well, so that's not go. Oh, god damn it!
Have you not got?
As it turns out, the USB was not charging it.
Ah, okay. So have you not got a backup?
No, I don't, because as it turns out,
He's a fucking amateur.
When I was sorting out my office today, I also dropped my spare webcam, and that has broken also.
I would like to point out that Shooey isn't usually this unprofessional. It's just the fact he's just bought himself this like mega PC, and he spent all day setting up so he could have a nice sort of easy stream. It'd just be me and him chatting, and of course something has to go wrong when he gets
something always has to go wrong.
At least your new microphone's still working.
Oh yeah, the new microphone is glorious. I'm a big fan of it.
Oh, you sound great, mate. You sound great.
Yeah, I've just plugged in the other microphone, the other webcam as well, just to see, and it's not giving it to me.
Oh well.
Which is unsurprising, because that webcam is. I wish I'd never bought it. It's an absolute pile of dog shit.
I highly recommend the Brio 4K, but what I've done today is I actually normally I would have the Brio 4K output straight to OBS, but I actually did it through the Logitech the Logitech app, and it's a lot clearer and a lot smoother, and it doesn't have that weird thing where it get that fucking shimmer in the background. Because this is actually, if you don't know, that's actually a green screen.
We do love our green screens.
We do love our greens. I would like to point out that my background is actually my PC and my screens. But I'm just obviously to face the camera and to make it all look interesting. I turn it all around. We have talked about. Oh no, we didn't talk about levitation.
No, we need to talk about levitation.
Okay, yeah, we do. Right. So
actually, do you know what I can do? Right. What I can do is, seeing that no one gets to see my face, what I can do is I can actually find the levitation video and run it.
Oh, right. So you can do like
background.
a lifetime. Right. Okay.
Yeah, right. So start talking and I will find it.
Okay. So anybody that has access to a PC that can run VR needs to play Half-Life Alyx. Like straight away. It's the best game in VR, without a doubt. It's not only one of the best games I've ever played. Best games I've ever played in VR. It's amongst the best games I've ever played. And I am talking about Super Mario World. I'm talking about Metroid. I'm talking about Halo. I'm talking about Call of Duty. It's like, it is a great game. Valve are fucking geniuses, and they're like reinvented gaming in VR, and it is so good. It's so good. So if you get Half-Life Alyx and your PC can handle it, you get the mod scene. So you may have seen on my channel, I've done a few videos on Gunman Contracts and the Resident Alyx and the Biohazard, which was done by Wim Beitat. And like, shout out to him, he's a fucking genius. So the Gunman Contracts one was done by... can you pause it there and just rewind? Okay, thanks. So the Gunman Contracts one was done by a guy called A&B Seth, and if you have Half-Life Alyx, go to the workshop and download Gunman Contracts episode 1 and 2. Right, so what we're looking at here is the new Half-Life Alyx.
So I'm going to pause it there.
Okay, yeah. So we got, basically, there's been a trailer put out. So most Half-Life Alyx mods are done by like one or two people, and they're really good. Like I said, we get to Wim Beitat's. He did Resident Alyx. He did Biohazard, and then he got A&B Seth, who did Gunman Contracts. But these guys, like, they've done a trailer, and they've used the official Half-Life Alyx they've I actually don't know how they've done it. They've used like the voice actors and they've put, this is all new. So can you put volume on that or not? Can you?
No, because you're only picking up my microphone.
Okay. So we can't show you. We can't like show you there unless you put your microphone close. Oh, you can't to your headset.
I don't have speakers.
Headset.
I have a headset.
Put the microphone into your headset. It might work.
Hang on.
We'll see.
Hang on. Let's see if we can do this. We can do it.
We can junk it.
The shit out of this. Okay.
We're professionals.
Right. I won't be able to hear you, but you hopefully will be able to hear this. Just nod if you can hear something.
Okay. Play.
Mary and Maya, remember when we asked them not to investigate the giant levitating building in Sector X? Well,
we're getting into that floating building, Alex.
Shut your eyes, Miss Vance, and picture the end of your struggles.
Okay, they've managed to get everything spot on, including G-Man. Like, they have reproduced the voice acting to a T. Because, like, I don't remember what the actor's name is that played the engineer guy. I can never remember his name. The engineer guy or the actor can never. He was in The Boat That Rocked. He was in Flight of the Conchords. This New Zealand guy.
Oh,
I'm pretty certain they didn't get him to do this, which means they've got somebody else that was able to replicate his voice pretty damn well.
But what is exciting is that they've said that this is a 4 to 5 hour campaign. That's
pretty awesome.
That's pretty close to if you put Half-Life Alyx on easy and just blast your way through it. That's pretty close to how long it'll take you to do Alyx.
And this is free.
And it's free! No. Right, so I've done...
While we're talking about this, I'm just going to press play so that that can be playing in the background.
Yeah. I've played all the stuff from Win by Tart and I've played all the stuff from A&B Seth. And I have pledged money to them on PayPal because I don't mind paying a tenner for what I experienced, because the Resident Alyx stuff was so good. The Biohazard, the Bioshock stuff, he'd re-engineered levels and taken the Bioshock assets and made it into Half-Life Alyx. It was fucking incredible. So if you have Half-Life Alyx, if you have a PC that is VR ready, and you haven't played Half-Life Alyx, go and play Half-Life Alyx right now. And then once you've done that, go to Workshop and download Gunman Contracts, Bioshock from Win by Tart, and Resident Alyx from Win by Tart, and this when it comes up, because it's fucking incredible. It's incredible.
I just want to point out, right, the reason I've paused it at this particular point.
Yeah, right. I know exactly what you're saying.
This asset is not a Steam or a Valve asset.
No,
this is something they have created from scratch, and I'm not even certain that this is going to be an important part of the game.
Yeah. So that is an excavator, and if you've ever played Borderlands, you'll know there's a big level set on one of those excavators where you go up and kill the boss at the top of it. That's basically what that is. And that is fucking incredible. Wow.
I love the fact that they are creating like genius level assets for this free piece of kit that they're providing us.
You do know that Dota came from Half-Life. Dota came from Half-Life mod kits.
Yes.
Yeah. So like Dota is Gabe Newell's favorite game of Dota 2. obviously, and he said, why? He said on numerous occasions, why would you not play Dota? And that's something that he created. And this is what I love about Valve and their Steam Deck and their software. They just go, yeah, we've done this. Here you go. Go off and do what you want. And that gives, I mean, sadly, it's Bradley, who's one of my favorite content creators on YouTube. He did 2 levels, Minecrash and I can't remember what the other one's called, on Half-Life Alyx, and they're fucking brilliant. They're like half an hour to 45-minute experiences in Half-Life Alyx, and it's just let people's imagination run wild. There's a one where there's a guy who's done one where you're a giant mech, and all the Combine are little tiny, like this big, and you can just like stomp them. It's so much fun. It's called Molten Metal. So go onto the Steam workshops and look for Molten Metal. It's just...
This is the thing, right? Is my entire plan, right? I've spent all day, and I'm going to spend time after this particular podcast setting up my PC some more, so that I can spend all day tomorrow playing Half-Life Alyx. Right.
So play Gunman Contracts Episode 1 Extraction, and Episode 2, I think it's called The Art of War.
Yeah.
Right. So what AMB Seth has done there is, not so much in the first one, but in the second one, there are no assets from Half-Life Alyx in the second episode. None.
Really?
Nah. No.
So this is all stuff he's created from scratch.
It's great. Right. So there's one asset. There's one asset he's used, but it's a spoiler. So if you played Half-Life Alyx to the end, there's a scene where there's a helicopter. And he used the helicopter in
the
Art of War.
Before you hit the boss guy, before you hit the Scarface guy, yeah?
No.
No?
No. If you've played Half-Life Alyx to the end...
Which I have not.
Okay. There's an asset at the end, which is a helicopter. And the guy from A&B Seth used that helicopter in the final scene.
Okay.
It's very clever. It's very clever the way he did it. And you just think, right, that's somebody thinking... So he hasn't used any Half-Life Alyx assets all the way through the game. And they just use that one for that one scene, which is quite pivotal. And it's very, very clever. Very clever. It's... and he's working on chapter 3, and I can't wait, because I want to give him my money. I want to give him my money to play that chapter, because I just know it's going to be so good. Because Extraction was great, Art of War was brilliant. So what's he going to do with this next one? So
he has said, actually, I'm pretty certain I have read somewhere that he has said that he's going to be bringing new weapons.
Yes, yeah, he said that, yeah. But he also said he has a wife and child, so he's doing this on the side.
The thing is, I keep speaking to developers that are doing this just because they love doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what is now pushing VR forward in a lot of ways, is just the passion of the average person that happens to know or happens to want to go and learn Unity.
Yeah. There's a guy out there who is doing a port of Halo Reach, and we have talked about this before. I'm the world's biggest Halo geek. I've read all the books, I've played all the games, haven't actually watched the TV series yet because I can't get fucking Paramount Plus where I am. When that happens, my life is complete. I will play that game, and then I will quite happily walk out into the street and get run over and die. Because that's the pinnacle of my life. Halo in VR. Oh! I forgot about Epic Games.
This is what we need to talk about. We need to make some speculations.
No, that's right. I did say, didn't I? I actually forgot to write it on my list. Right, so anybody that doesn't know, Unreal Engine 5 released. There was a big announcement. I mean, I'm assuming that developers have had it in their hands for a while, but Epic did like a big sort of reveal, and there was like a PSVR 2 logo, which is like PSVR 2 isn't. They're not developers. I think Unreal Engine just put that in there to sort of go, you know, Unreal Engine 5 will work with PSVR 2. So, Epic Games. So, what do you know about Epic Games? Excuse me, I'm just going to top my glass up.
What do I know about Epic Games?
Think about their portfolio.
Their portfolio. So, we have the likes of Fortnite, obviously.
Yes.
Do I want to, just before we jump past that, do I want to play Fortnite in VR?
Population 1?
That's exactly, like, I don't want to play Fortnite in VR because I've got Population 1. And
Population 1 is such a good game.
It is. It is. And actually, I would like to briefly talk about that a bit more after this segment.
Okay.
Because we did have some news over the last week and a half about that as well. So, what Epic Games? Actually, do you know what? I don't know a huge amount about the... Did they do League of Legends? No, they didn't do League of Legends.
It's like sort of Assassin's Creed.
That's Ubisoft.
Oh, right, hold on. I did actually put this...
Unreal Tournament is Epic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right,
See, yeah. GK has just said Unreal Tournament.
Epic is Gears of War.
Oh, okay. So you're happy then?
No, because like that will never happen because that's an Xbox exclusive. So that will never happen on PSVR 2. Never. I would.
Oh, never say never.
I would love it to happen. I cried. I cried when I thought Marcus Phoenix had died in Gears 5. I actually cried. And I was so relieved when he didn't.
Yeah, see, I know who Marcus Phoenix is, but I'm not a Gears fan.
Right, so this is like, to me, Gears is your World of Warcraft. Does that make any sense? That you were...
Yeah, okay, yeah. I can, yeah.
I played the first Gears. I thought it was amazing. I played Gears 2. I played Gears 3. There was like some shit Gears games. There was Gears 4, which was a reboot, which was really good because they kind of brought a younger team in, and Marcus was like the father figure. Was it Gears 4 that he died? He nearly died. I can't remember anyway. Basically, Marcus Phoenix gets eaten by this thing, and he's like spat out, and he's like there, and he's dead, and his son's there, and he's like, oh my god, my dad, oh. They don't try and do any CPR, mate, which I'm a bit fucking disappointed about. Don't try and clear his airway and like roll him into a recovery position. They just fucking go there, oh, my dad's dead. Anyway, Marcus decides that he's not fucking dead, and he coughs, and I was crying. I was actually literally crying because this guy's been such a big part of my life. He's like the Master Chief. He's like Mario. You know what I mean? He was a big part of my life. So anyway, I'm a massive Gears fan. It'll never be on PSVR 2. Xbox won't.
You don't think?
Nah, Xbox won't allow it. But if it was, I would love to chainsaw some grunt. Oh, that would just be amazing. That would just be amazing. If anybody's wondering why Shooey is frozen, it's because his webcam's died. I'd just like to point that out.
Multiple webcams have died.
Right, so he hasn't just had one webcam died, because we always have technical problems when we do the podcast. He hasn't just had one webcam died. He's had all of them die.
It's not been a good day. I found the reason why one of them has died, partly because I threw it on the floor by accident. Partly because it's got a massive split in the cable, and partly because that particular webcam, the Logitech Streamer Cam, is absolute
Absolutely
dog shit.
fucking garbage. Yes, I've heard that. I've heard the old Logitech C920 that I've got, so you can see me, is actually much better than the Streamer Cam. Why? Anyway. Okay. Yes, Weeble, the helicopter was in the hangar. Epic did Robo Recall. Yeah,
Did they?
Yeah, they did. That was a great game. That's still, I tell you what, if you go back, that's like a 6-year-old game. If you go back and play Robo Recall, you'll be surprised how good the graphics are. It's amazing.
What is it? Is it available on Quest or PC or both?
It's only available on Oculus. It's released on Quest standalone. I think it's cross-buy. So if you buy the Quest version, you get the Rift version as well. And the PC version.
It's been on my list of things to do for a while.
Oh, it's honestly, dude. If it's cheap, if it's like £10, buy it, and play it via Airlink because you get the PC version. Then it's amazing. It's like Lone Echo 2 level graphics.
This is also something that I get to play now, of course, is that I've been putting off playing Lone Echo and Lone Echo 2 for a while.
Oh, I wish I could experience that for the first time again. I do.
So my plan is to take off. So I've got a couple of days off to come and visit you next month.
Yes, you have, May the 7th.
Yep.
Our Space Pirate Trainer Day.
Yep. So I'm going to do a 12-hour shift and then drive 4.5 hours to visit Mac
and then
on the same day.
I'm going to give him a beer and he's going to fall asleep.
Mate, if I even make it to you, I'll be surprised on the same day. But either way, so I'm going to do that. My plan is to actually take off a full week of work so that I can go through and complete Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
Complete Lone Echo 1 and Lone Echo 2.
Oh my God. I wish I could. I wish I had dementia so I could go back and play that game again. I don't wish I had dementia. I wish I had memory loss so I could go back and play Lone Echo and go back and play Lone Echo 2 again. They're so good. Like Jack and Liv.
That's my big one. But yeah, no, I'm looking through Unreal's stuff. And even if you go to their main webpage, the first things that you see are Fortnite, obviously, and the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
So if they're going to be doing any kind of exclusives, I don't know what they're going to be.
Yeah. So
Rocket League as well. I'm not sure how
Rocket
that
League,
translates to VR.
Yeah. So basically, if you don't understand what's going on, the problem is that we have OpenXR, which is what most video games VR games are made on. But then Unreal Engine have come out and said, right, we're going to make Unreal Engine VR compatible. So OpenXR is the big. If you make a game in OpenXR, it will work in VR. And Unreal Engine have come along and said, well, we're going to do that as well, which means you're going to get like those like Gears of War sort of quality graphics, if you kind of understand where I'm getting from, in VR. And the tools haven't been released yet, but they're there or thereabouts. But it's going to be compatible with OpenXR, so it's a very exciting time to be involved in VR.
The thing is, right, is we not too long ago we had a game or a tech demo. It was more like come out that was purely there to showcase Unreal 5, and that was the Matrix experience.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to play it because, as far as I'm aware, it was exclusive to Xbox and PlayStation. So the PC players amongst us didn't get to actually experience that gloriousness. But that looked fucking phenomenal.
It was seamless. They went from the actors to the digital actors, and it was almost seamless.
And this is what we need, like, because like the way they've done it is that it uses a lot less resources in order to achieve this phenomenal fidelity. And this is what we need in VR. We don't want to forget ourselves on a screen. We want to forget ourselves in a headset.
So
if they can start bringing that stuff, that's big. That's massive.
So pen, we're getting serious. As soon as you start pointing the pen, we're getting serious. Eye tracking, foveated rendering, Unreal Engine 5.
And probably a lot of exclusivity for PSVR 2.
Oh. Like, if Sony don't knock this out the park, they basically snatched defeat from the hands of victory, because everything they've done so far has been like haptic feedback on the controllers, eye tracking, face tracking. The headset looks cool as fuck. You've got a powerful console, which you can't get your hands on at the moment, which might be a bit of a problem. But if Sony don't knock this out the park, then they basically won the Super Bowl and fucking fumbled the ball at the last minute.
So here's the thing that even more than that, Xbox are doing nothing. Like Microsoft
Phil Spencer
doing nothing.
Came up on stage and said, "We are not interested in VR," and you think you fucking moron.
If Sony do manage to knock this out of the park, right? If they just manage to do a good job, not even an amazing job, just a good job, right? How long until Xbox actually listen to this? Because if they're doing things with Unreal 5, if they're like Microsoft signed that huge deal not recently, but a few months back now, where they essentially stole Activision and a bunch of other development companies away from PlayStation in order to create exclusives and in order to make it more expensive on PlayStation than it was on Xbox. And Bethesda, yeah.
Fucking, that's a huge team. Hey, Fun with the Clicks is here.
PlayStation are essentially going to do the same thing with all of the VR content, is that they're going to have already bought it up, and even if they weren't buying it up, the developers are going to flock to PlayStation because that's where the VR is happening.
You got to remember that until Quest 2 came along, PlayStation VR was the biggest selling headset that we had. There was like 5.
It's pretty disgusting, really, because it was garbage.
Well, yeah, I can't argue with that. But 5 million headsets sold. Quest 2 what is on about 12 million now. We think because obviously Oculus Meta wankers, they won't tell us what their figures are. So PSVR 2, if they can get over supply problems, which I mean I would like to have a PSVR, I would like to have a PlayStation 5 so I can play PlayStation VR, but purely from my channel's point of view, because I think if PSVR 2 launches and it's as good as I think it is, it's gonna fucking explode. And if they if they include PC VR, will they have the balls to do it? Will they have the balls to make you... It's a USB-C cable. I can plug that into my PC. Can I run my PC Steam stuff on PlayStation VR? Can I? Do you think?
We've been talking about this non-stop, really, for the last like 8,
Yes.
10 weeks. And
Yes.
I am still of the pure opinion that Sony do not have... It's kind of like letting your missus go out with the really hot Italian guy who's going to buy her all the drinks and he's going to buy her the nice meal and drive her there in your Lamborghini.
She's getting
You
fucked.
have to have you have to have some massive amount of like what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be so comfortable in your relationship to say yes, I am okay with that. And I don't think that Sony are going to have that level of confidence to say, yes, let's let them do whatever the fuck they want. They need to have Valve levels of confidence to say, here, users, do with it as you will.
Which is why we love Valve. And then, so Deckard. Deckard. Where, when, what? Now we know it's going to have micro OLEDs because of what Sadly It's Bradley's talked about. We know it is going to be standalone, but we know you can also attach this x86 computing device to it and it will attach to your PC. But this is Valve, so it's going to be open source and it's going to be expensive. Is it going to be able to compete with Cambria? Is it? Because obviously Cambria is a closed system, whereas Valve generally tend to say, well, we made this. Go and...
I mean, it's Linux, isn't it? They're going to just let it run however people want to do shit with it. The thing is, open source is the way forwards.
Yeah.
Open source has always been the way forwards.
Yeah. Which is why Cambria is so, because Facebook want that control, don't they? They want that. They want to lock you down.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. From a business perspective, it makes sense. But the thing is Valve never do things from a business perspective.
I know, and you wonder how they made so much fucking money. Maybe other people should look at them and go, maybe we should just make our shit open source.
Yeah, but for that to do what Valve did, you have to give a shit about the actual players. You have to give a shit about the players and nothing else.
Which, when you see Gabe Newell being interviewed, that's all he's interested in. That is literally all he's interested in. The experience of the person who is buying his product. They fucking torched themselves to get the Steam Deck down to the price point that they got it to. Like, don't buy the cheap one. That's the shit one. And he said, we were surprised that 80% of the pre-orders were for the high end, for the £600 one.
I don't understand why that's a surprise.
No, I don't either. You put a headset out that costs £1,000 and you've sold a fucking boatload. Okay. So this one is like the mid-term, $300. This is the mid one, $400. This is the high-end one with the anti-glare screen and the big fucking hard drive and everybody bought that one. I wonder why that is. Because they want the best.
People are happy to purchase and pay money for good quality stuff.
Exactly, absolutely.
They've always been willing to do that.
Yeah.
Like, no one's ever disagreed with that.
So go back to Meta Cambria then, or Pro Quest, or please don't call it the fucking Quest Pro. Just call it fucking Cambria. So there's going to be an announcement soon. It might not be at Games Conference. I actually think it's going to be a lot later on in the year. I don't think they're ready to launch yet. I
think it's going to be the October conference.
Yeah,
personally.
yeah. I think so too. I think there's going to be an announcement in October. You can pre-order this right now. Blah blah blah. So it's like cutting edge. I don't know what these mini LEDs are things. I don't understand why they've not gone for micro OLEDs when they're better. But they've spent all the money on the lenses. They've got all the cameras. They've got all the pass-through shit. They're going to sell a fucking boatload of those. Like, to me. Like, to enthusiasts like me. The same way that, like, Steam did with the Steam Deck. They didn't expect the high-end model to sell 80%. They thought 80% of people would buy the base Steam Deck and 20% would buy the high-end one. But it turned out it was flipped on its head. So when a Meta looking at, and they're looking at what Steam Deck did, and they're thinking, you know, this high-end headset could sell well. 1.1 to 2 million units in October, November, December, in like 3 months.
That's quite a lot of headsets to ship in 3 months, isn't it?
Yeah, Quest did it though, didn't it? Quest 2 did it.
Yes, but Quest 2 was also $300.
Yeah. I haven't got my Steam Deck yet. I ordered it.
You have all. I assume you're on the pre-order.
I pre-ordered it 5 minutes after it became available. Haven't got mine yet.
That was 4 minutes and 58 seconds too late, mate.
So, again, going back to what I was saying, I was 4 minutes and 58 seconds too late to get my premium Steam Deck. So, if they put pre-orders out for Cambria, Quest Pro, whatever, if I'm 4 minutes and 58 seconds too late again, am I going to be waiting 6 months for my Cambria?
I think they're going to try and ship them out pretty quickly, to be honest. They're the sort of company that can essentially, unlike Valve with the Steam Deck, which are almost being made to order.
Yeah.
Cambria isn't going to be. They're going to have already just built a million units and said, fuck it. These will sell eventually.
But it's that Steam Deck premium, Cambria premium comparison that we're talking about. You know, there's going to be a point where you realize that, yeah, actually, you can have a Quest 2 at the cost £400 with the big memory, and then you can have a Quest 2 that costs £400 with the big memory and the eye tracking makes it £500, or the face tracking makes it £600, or the pancake lenses makes it £700, or the mini LEDs makes it £800. Which one are you going to buy? I'm going to buy the best one.
See, when I buy electronics, right, any electronics, it doesn't matter if it's a TV, a PC, a fridge, a washing machine, it doesn't matter what it is. The way I purchase any of these items is that I literally type in what I want, which is, for instance, let's go with the PC that I recently bought, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I look on a website and I go gaming PCs, and then I go sort by highest price. And then I go down until I find a price that I am okay with.
Yeah.
And then I persuade myself, subconsciously and consciously, that I need not just an i7 but an i9, or not just 32 gigs of RAM but 64 gigs, or not just a 3070 but a 3080, or not just a 3080, a 3080 Ti. And then eventually I start looking at the price, and once again it's gone too high, and then I bring myself back down again ever so slightly. And that's how I purchase products, right? Is I start high and I go down, and I work out what it is that I can't live without. But, and this is the important thing, when you have a stepping system like with the Steam Deck,
yeah,
right? You start looking at it from like, oh, that extra $100, yeah, I could spend that extra $100 on X, and then it's like, well, I'm already spending $500. What do I get for $600? And I think that, honestly, Meta could actually profit really hard from this way of doing things, rather than just having a $300 you get 64 gigabyte, or now it's 128 gigabyte, or $400 you get a 256 gigabyte. They need to start including other features that actually give these stepping stones, because I think what they'll do is they'll get loads of people, same with the Steam Deck, buying that top model.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people do. So, Meta Cambria. base model, £700. Elite strap, £800. Elite audio system, £900. Super comfort strap, £1,000. You see the way you can do that?
I don't like that. Like those exact examples, I hate. But I get what you're saying.
It's like, so I'm going to use a really fucking wanky example here because I own a Porsche, right? It's an old Porsche.
It's a very wanky example.
It is a very wanky example. But with Porsche, you get a spec sheet, and there's like, you spec this. And the guy who bought my Porsche basically he bought the base model, upgraded the wheels, and fuck all else. Right? So I'm looking at a car that cost X thousands of pounds to buy, and all he did was upgrade the wheels. And I'm like looking at the car and thinking, you wanker, why couldn't you have upgraded the stereo system, PASM, the sports fucking chassis? But then his £40,000 would have gone to £50,000, and he probably wouldn't have enjoyed the car any. Oh, he's back! He is back!
I am back. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but I am back at least for a little while.
Okay, so how much does that enjoyment of your car increase by the £10,000 that you spent? And I'm going to say this, not at all. But when it comes to VR, if you have the deluxe audio strap for your Quest, if you have the VR cover for your Quest, if you have the extended battery for your Quest, for your £100, £200 that you spent on your upgrades, that's a massive increase in your experience with the Quest, because like the Quest 2 is built, and we've said this millions of times before, the Quest 2 is built for a price, and the price is spent on the screen and the XR2 chip, and the strap is shit, the audio solution is not very good, it's not very comfortable, so you have to buy a VR cover, you have to buy the oh, he's gone, oh, he's back, you have to buy
oh, god damn it, this piece of shit.
Oh, you're back!
No, it's going to keep jumping in and out, I think.
No, just, it's fine. It's better than the static photograph. Yeah, so the Elite strap, the VR cover, and those things add value to what you've bought. So I don't mind, if we talk about Cambria again, I don't mind paying a little bit extra for those upgrades, which is what we were talking about originally, weren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so one last thing I want to briefly talk about, just because it is one of the largest games on the Quest 2, is the news that we got about a week and a half ago. I say a week and a half ago. We got it 11 days ago because we got it on April Fool's Day, I think, which is for the Population 1 updates and roadmap that's coming this year.
Okay.
Did you read anything about this?
I did not. So...
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly Google to make sure that I am exactly talking about what I think I'm talking about. But basically, we got a roadmap for the next year, basically.
For Pop 1?
For Population 1.
Okay.
And here you go, a glimpse of the next major updates. And this actually came out on April 1st.
Oh, so this is the weapon rebalance thing, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not just improved gun mechanics, it's new guns.
Woo!
So, we're getting new weapons, and not just knives and swords.
Oh,
we're getting new guns. We're getting improved gun mechanics. We're getting a ranked mode. We're getting this sounds weird, but this is probably the biggest thing that they announced, is we're getting a new Seeker Silver store. Now, that sounds a bit weird, and I don't think a lot of people will actually understand what that is. What that is that there is a social coin that you can get in Population 1, right? And once you've got 1,000 of them, you end up not spending it, and you can get some mediocre to shitty things. Like, you can get sprays with it, specific ones. You can get name tags with it, and you can get banners. I can't remember exactly what they're called. But either way, they're pretty crap. Like, no one cares about them, and most of them are useless, and no one really uses them. And one of the things that everybody has wanted for a while is the ability to spend those coins on things that people want, which are skins.
Yeah.
There isn't a second. People want skins. Now, it isn't just player skins, but it is weapon skins. And they haven't mentioned anything to do with player skins, but what they have said is that you will be able to spend some of this social coin on getting previously purchasable, or not necessarily purchasable, sorry, but previous event weapon skins.
Yeah, that's really annoying. It's
annoying, but it's also, I think it's for people that are ingrained and that have been around for a while, like me and you, that is a bit annoying because, you know, we had those things because we were there at the time to get those skins. But for those,
sorry,
go
carry
on.
No, carry on.
For those people that are jumping in now, because Population 1 isn't going anywhere, and we need more people playing. Like, Metropolis has brought in new people and has brought back old people, and it's a great map and a great new thing.
So good.
But Metropolis isn't going to last. That hype is not going to last a long time. Same with everything. Like, Kingdom brought back people.
It did.
And it didn't last. Metropolis brought back people, but it's not going to last. What we need is to keep giving people the ability to have these cool things. And skins, as with every other big game on the planet, has shown that skins bring people either back to the game or new to the game and keep them excited for the game. There goes my damn webcam again.
No, you're back.
So yeah, that's a big one, I think, is the ability for them to say, yes, we're going to give you the ability to spend this on weapon skins. I think that's huge.
So, as somebody who played Population 1, like from day one, I don't have any skins. I've never bought any skins. I have a couple of skins I earned, I think. I've got the Ellen DeGeneres one. They need to keep Metropolis in the play loop, because that is the best thing that's happened to Population 1 since I've been playing it. I don't hot drop. I hate hot dropping because you get all the fucking sweaties drop in and they do the DT-11-9 super fucking fast reload and bam, 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 and you're dead. But Metropolis to me is brilliant because it's very... there's a lot of loot, and you can drop into areas where you know there's a lot of loot, and you get into firefights quite quickly. And I don't mind losing in those circumstances. What I hate losing to is all the sweaty fuckers who just, all they do is hot drop, and they get the DT-11 and they fucking blow you away from 50 meters away, and it's fucking bullshit. Metropolis changed the way I like to play Population 1, and I've been playing it since like day one. So me and Serge and you, obviously, Crash, you know, Henry, we all played Population 1. We did some Metropolis. It's brilliant because you drop in, if you survive the first minute, you've got a good base and you can probably win the game. You know, if you survive that first minute, I've got a probably 70-80% chance of winning that game because I'm a good player and I've got Serge, who's a fucking unbelievable player. Yeah, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that quick, swift play where and sometimes we actually sort of accidentally dropped into the old map and we were like, oh, it's gonna be fucking 10 minutes before we meet everybody, anybody or see anybody. And it was, have you frozen?
No, I'm just going through the chat, I think.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So the old version of Population 1 seemed really slow, whereas the Metropolis map was really good. If they remove that, they're being fucking morons. They just need to keep it as a. Just need to keep it.
The thing is, I think it's dropping off on the 20th, the Metropolis Royale mode, which I think is a huge mistake because
it's a massive mistake.
It turns 12-minute games into 5-minute games.
It does, yeah.
And that isn't like, we don't want the 12-minute games to disappear, but we also want the option of the 5-minute games. In the same way that I really want Team Deathmatch to become a permanent fixture, because sometimes I don't have access to my normal teammates and I want to just jump in on my own and be set into a team where it doesn't matter that we're not the best team because we're just going to go and shoot people and respawn, and that's fine.
Yeah. I've never actually played Team Deathmatch on there.
Team Deathmatch is okay. It's not phenomenal. I'm never going to say it's phenomenal. I much prefer playing in squads rather than like a 6-man, 10-man team or whatever it is. But it's something to do because like I don't like playing with randoms in squads. I hate playing with randoms in squads. I've got no interest in that life.
Weebles just said my games only last 5 minutes anyway.
To be honest, mate, if you're bad at the game and they only last and you're still lasting 5 minutes, that's not a bad shout.
The thing about Population 1 is that like for the whole time it's been on out, it was always the slow build up, unless you hot dropped. And you'd only do that if you're a fucking sweaty wanker.
I love a hot drop.
Oh, I fucking hate hot dropping. you pod, you go to Armory, you go to fucking Disney World, you pick your shit up. You would have your favourite weapons. With me, it's 6.4, an UMP, grenades, and then you have your backup like health and shields and all that sort of stuff. And then you get prepared, and then we would go forward and we would get into a fight, and the fight would either go our way or they go their way, and then that was game over, or you would carry on. And you know, my win rate is about 33%, so it's pretty good. You know, if I'm in a fight, I'm 1 out of 3. I'm going to win that game. With Metropolis, it's 50%. 50%. I don't know why. Because as soon as you get into Metropolis, I turn into a fucking animal. And I'm like, I'm using the Sacco. I've never used a Sacco. I'm popping guys' fucking heads from 200 meters away. I'm using a DT11. I've never used a DT11. Never. Ever. I'm using an M1014. It forces you to use the weapons that you don't like. And that's what I love about Metropolis. You just drop in. There's a guy dropping. It's like 5 dropping right in front of you. And your teammates are dropping down. And you're like, I've got a shotgun. Great. Boom, boom, boom. It's fucking... If they get rid of Metropolis as a map, that's a fucking massive mistake. It is a massive
You know what
mistake.
I really, really like about Metropolis? Everything you've just said, I completely agree with, right? But there's one thing that I really like about it. It completely evens out the AWP players.
Oh,
Because
yes.
there are perfect positions in Metropolis to use the AWP. But
Yeah.
every single place has its disadvantages and
Yes.
advantages to using every weapon.
Yeah.
And you don't have that on the big map.
No, you don't. No, Metropolis is so good. If you're a good Sacco user, you're good. AWPs are out because you don't have you can't do that peak sort of AWP thing, because if you hit me, I can just move left or right and I'm gone. And that's what I like about it. It's not dominated by snipers. It's not dominated by that peeking thing that you get in the main game.
Yep.
And so, like, for a player like me, I'm like a fucking camera. I'm like a mid to short range player. That's my bag. So I like use the CX4, use the Mark 18 for my mid range stuff. Then I use the UMP and shotguns for the close up stuff. And that's the way I like to play. And the Metropolis map suits me perfectly because if you get down into the main city, there are no angles where you can get sniped from consistently. And yeah, I like that.
There's so much internal stuff, isn't there? There's so many internal parts of the buildings.
And it's the verticality as well.
Yeah.
The verticality.
It's so tall.
Yeah. We got on top, you know, with these sort of Halo Warthog, not the Warthog, but they're called the dropship things are.
Yeah.
And we were like the last team, apart from one other. We're like, where the fuck are they? And they were like 200-300 meters above us on this fucking building behind where the dropships were. And we didn't figure it out until one of them shot down at us, and they were like, "Oh, you idiots! You just fucking work. You just told us where you are." So you like fucking climbed up. UMP dead. Right, he's dead. He's dead. Surge. Boom. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, we won the game. So yeah, I love that map. I love Metropolis. They should definitely keep that as a
mode. Yeah,
as a mode.
The Metropolis Royale. They really should. I think it would. Like, they've obviously put a lot of effort into it. And
it's beautiful. They need as well.
The thing is, I don't know where they go from here. Like, I don't know how they top Metropolis.
Yeah, because you've got to think the game's been out an awful long time, and Metropolis is the biggest thing that's happened to it. So it's like Warzone. It's like Call of Duty Warzone. They did like a revamp of Warzone, where they like took it back to. It was like a modern day Warzone and the previous Warzone, like a 1980s Warzone. They need to do something like that. But I don't
where they revamp the entire map rather than.
Yeah, but so one of the things that I thought I would never say about Population 1 is that they need to make the map smaller. They need.
It's always been the same size though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Like, Metropolis makes, even though the actual square footage of the map doesn't change, Metropolis has made that map so much bigger. Yeah, in the same way that Kingdom did that exact same thing. Like, I remember walking into Kingdom and thinking, Jesus Christ, this is huge, and yet it is like it pales in comparison to Metropolis.
Yeah, but it's still within the same. Like, Metropolis is now replaced. Refinery, and it's still the map is still the same size.
Yeah, which is insane.
It is insane.
I always hated Refinery. Refinery was one of the worst places on the map for me.
You always end up on the roof, and you're always going to get sniped from the top, and you think, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Right. Is there anything else you would like to discuss, Mac? Because if not, I think this would be a good time to sign off.
I have had a fucking amazing time. I'd like to thank everybody that's been in the chat. It's
been wonderful, guys.
Like,
Weeble, I think you were the only person to get the answer right, so contact me on Discord.
You win!
You have won a lovely pair.
No!
See, Mac's got these, right? Mac
I have got.
has a
I
pair
don't.
of these
I don't
as
want
well.
to give. I don't want to give them away. I don't want to give them away.
I'm giving mine away. These, if you haven't seen it, Weebs, there is a video that I did a while back on some accessories that you attach to your Quest 2 controllers that turn them into that basically weight your controllers so it feels more like you're holding guns.
There you go.
Yeah, our Mac will show you what they look like. They actually feel really good,
And they are,
they feel
and
really
look,
nice.
They look really cool as well.
They do. The thing is I've got a lot of accessories sitting around, and so yeah, well done, Weebs. The answer was Daisy. The dog was called Daisy.
Okay, right. So in the next podcast, then I'm going to give this away, and that is an Elite Strap by Destech. So, ooh, baby! I'll give this away in the next podcast. So there you go. We started something. We're going to give all of our free shit to our subs and our friends.
Just to all of the Rekin Krew, because you guys stick around. You come and listen to us jabber on for 3 hours. I feel like we need to start giving back a bit more, and that's going to be the beginning of it. I've been looking for a way to be able to do some giveaways, and I'd rather give it to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so Weebs wins the guns. The next podcast, you get an Elite Strap from me if you live in the UK or HB, because I feel sorry.
Good luck trying to get that into Russia, mate.
HB, if you're listening, we're not worthy, mate. We hope you're well. I hope you're well. Anyway, right. So, are we going to end it now?
We are going to end it now.
Okay. What do you want to say?
Guys, it has been fucking fantastic. Thank you very much for sticking around, even with my shitty webcam stuff. I will have that fixed by next time. I absolutely promise you. No clicks. We are not going to start giving away alcohol because that brings us into a whole new world of having to pay licensing.
Trouble.
Mac, yours.
Okay. Thank you to everyone that's contributed, got involved in the chat. We are the Rekin Krew. I'm Mac In VR. He's PowerOnVR.
I'm PowerOnVR.
Good night. And God bless.